Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this morning. Got a great show lined up, a special guest in the studio. But first, let's take a look at our weather. Brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. Drew Pollard and his hard-working crew taking care of our everyday comfort needs. And it's going to be comfortable, but it's going to get low tonight, about 51. And high is going to be 68 today. So really nice, comfortable fall weather here in the Florida Panhandle. Water temperature at the end of the pier is right at 80 degrees. On the river readings, I don't have them this morning. We know the Choctaw River is high, and also I'll have the exact readings tomorrow, but the river rising on both cases right there. The moon, we talked about the moon coming up. It's a new moon coming up last night, really. Just started a new moon, so keep that in mind. And that's always brought to us by Panama City Coca-Cola. Take a look at our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Today is October the 17th. We're back in the excellent tides the rest of the week. Strongest tides we've had in a long time. Really good. It's going to be some really good inshore fishing with these really strong tides. So take advantage of it if you get a chance. Our marine forecast, the wind won't be too bad. North-northwest at about 9. All right, let's take a break and we'll be right back. Welcome back, folks, and welcome our guest this morning, Matt Andrews.
Morning, Coach.
Welcome, Matt. Hammer Down Construction, and I've known Matt since he was about this high, and he's now part of our Panhandle Outdoors team. He's advertising and helping bring the famous Friday fishing forecast, Hammer Down Construction, and we're just tickled. I love one of my former students. I love having a relationship with former students, especially when they come back and do something like this with you. And we've always had a good bond, even when he was in school. He's an outdoor boy. So, Matt, let's tell the folks about yourself.
Well, like Coach said, I was a former student of his, and he's got such a good relationship with so many of his former students, which I think speaks leaps and bounds of his character as a man, as a coach, as an educator. Super happy and proud to be part of the show. My background's always been construction. That's what I grew up in. My dad was a part of it from the time I was real little. He went from painting cars to roofing houses when I was about 6 years old. So it's been in my life since I was about 6, and just continued on with that family business, worked for that family business, worked for another roofing company, and roofing's just kind of always been the background for me for the last 18 years. And my dad always said, if you're gonna do something, do it right. So that's kind of been the mold that I've built my whole business around, is quality roofing and relationships with people. Proud to be on the show, Coach.
Well, listen, that's it in a nutshell. And what he talked about being a part of that construction and doing it right, I'll give that an amen. After Hurricane Michael, we know we talked about that, and guess who I called for my roof? And he said, Coach, we'll take care of you.
That's
and
right.
I didn't have to worry about anything else. And he did take care of it. And I was able to go back and forth and spend some time with him finally. And he had such a hard-working crew and so meticulous. And it just did my soul good to have someone like him come do it. So we've got a pretty good business now.
We've grown a lot, Coach.
You have grown.
It's amazing. The last 4 years has been quite a ride for us, you know, because I was with my family's business still during the hurricane, and then right after that's when we got ourselves going and got ourselves started, my wife and I. And we've just continued to grow. We've set a brick and mortar location into place, which we're having a grand opening.
Okay.
So now would be a great time. So if anybody wants to come out, we're having our grand opening with the Bay County Chamber. That's going to happen November 9th. We're hoping to have a lot of people come out for that. And we're going to make some big announcements there. I'll let one thing out of the bag. We're going to give a roof away.
Whoa!
We won't be doing it at the event, but we'll be announcing it. And I'm doing a little pre-announcement now. So come on out to that. See if you're eligible to possibly get a free roof. Obviously, it's going to be for somebody in need in our community. Oh. We're going to look for that person. That we're not going to narrow it down to one thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're a widow, a veteran, whatever it is, we want to hear your story. We want to build a relationship with you. And even if you don't win the roof, we want to be able to be your roofer and earn your trust in business during that event.
That speaks volumes right there, willing to give back like that. And I'm excited about your grand opening. I'm gonna put that on my calendar. And,
yes, please come.
That'd be good. So that's gonna be some fun times. You got a bunch of people working for you too now.
You know, we were just talking about that the other day, and I think we're getting real close to that 30 mark of full-time employees. So a lot of hands on deck, which is great though. It allows us to service so many people now, and it's opened up a lot of doors. We're doing everything from new construction to roof repairs, full roof replacements. We're on the commercial side of things. You'll notice a lot of our commercial projects. We just did the car wash, that new one on 390 right there.
Oh, you did that?
That was our project. And they're building another one of those over in Callaway, and we'll be roofing that one too. We did the Sacred Heart out in Watersound, and the new Watersound villages out there. Those are going to be real cool. I don't even know what they're going to be yet. I guess some of it's restaurant.
Okay.
And but that whole area is just on fire, and we're doing a lot of work over there too.
Well, we talk about it all the time. It's incredible how this area here is growing, over there is growing, St. Joe area is growing. I mean, this is, and I know you couldn't stay in business if you didn't have these really good workers and loyal workers.
Absolutely.
And I've seen them work.
That's right. That's right. And if you get good ones, you got to take good care of them. That's for sure. And we've been very, very blessed to bring on some very, very good people.
Yeah. And I know your wife helps out a lot.
I could not do it without her. Wouldn't want to do it without her.
Yeah.
That's for sure. We work very well together. There's times where she'll tell you the opposite and we lock horns, but we're so blessed to have one another, and she's always the person that I call first, whether it's good news or bad news. She's the one I'm picking up the phone and calling. Yeah. She's my best friend and my business partner in life. So.
And that's the kind of relationship that we all want and have. And I'm the same way. This outline right here, Gail did this outline last night. So I mean, I couldn't do my show without her. I couldn't do anything without her help.
Hey, somebody's got to keep us in check and keep us in order. You know,
and
keep us doing the right things, keep us going to church, keep us doing what we're supposed to.
You learned that at a young age. That's good.
Yes, sir.
And that's a good role model too.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, I sure have.
We're going to take a quick break. Be right back with Matt. Okay, welcome back. Sitting here with Matt Andrews, Hammer Down Construction, one of our new sponsors here in Panhandle Outdoors, and we much appreciate it. We're going to give a shout out. I want to say hello to your mom this morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mom.
She was a hard-working lady, man. She's been. She's
always been the one there keeping the.
I remember around school and everything. She was just doing all kinds of stuff.
And she still is. I think she's plugged into the Mosley Girls group. They go out and do a bunch of volunteer stuff throughout all the different schools.
Isn't that cool?
Oh yeah. Yeah. She said that's what she lives for. It's fun for her.
That's good.
She's reconnected with a lot of the girls she went to school with, and I think it's a bunch of different classes, but all around the same age group of girls, and she has a big time with all that.
That's
for sure.
Good.
Yeah,
that's good. I have to get up with them, maybe take some pictures of them doing some of that stuff.
Very cool.
You got an older brother?
I do.
So what's he doing now?
So he's a music minister down south.
Okay.
And then my younger brother's still working with my mom and dad.
Your dad's still working?
Dad's still working. He's doing pools now. They actually
he's going from roofing to the pools.
He's kind of made his way around the construction scene. You know, he's always taken pride in being able to do something himself.
Yeah.
He might have to do something 2 or 3 times and do it wrong 2 or 3 times, but he's going to learn how to do it. By God, that's a stubborn man, and he's going to learn how to do it, whether it's working on his truck or building a pool or laying brick pavers or whatever it is.
He's done all of that.
Yep. That's where I guess I picked all that up from all those years.
That's cool. Now, I know you love to fish. I know you love the outdoors, and we've talked about it even when you were young in class and all. I remember talking about it. We got some pictures to prove he does fish, okay, when he gets a chance. So let's start with this one right here. This big old sow red snapper. Tell us about this one.
That was a nice one. That was a great day. We actually did a Father's Day trip. We went out on the Adeline, which is funny because my daughter's name is Adeline, so I always thought that was funny. But that's my brother-in-law, my brother behind me, and you see my dad back there in the back. We just took all the dads out and tore it up. Man, we had a big day. I think we limited out on everything that we could limit out on. Caught that big sow. Great trip.
Now I know your dad wanted to win the jackpot. Did he win it?
No, I'll be honest with you, Coach. I've always had good luck with that, catching the biggest fish. I don't know what it is, but when we get the chance to go with my family, it doesn't matter. We used to go with my uncle. He used to have a real big boat. We'd go with him, and it didn't matter how old I was. Even when I was a little kid, it would about pull me off the boat. But I was always the one reeling in the biggest fish. I was very, very lucky like that. Got some real good fishing memories, and we did used to pass trophies around back then, just
cool.
through our family. I think I still got all 3 of them. Nobody ever got them off of me. So
hold on to those. Next time you come on, bring those trophies.
I will.
and this is another nice one right here.
Yep. I think that's the last fishing trip that I took there. And again, we caught a lot of pretty fish. Somebody caught a real big mahi. I didn't show you the picture of that, but somebody, because it wasn't mine. That was mine. I caught that fish, but somebody caught a real big mahi on that trip. It was beautiful fish.
It's good to have your local captains and local boats. You can just call them up, say, okay, when's your open date?
Well, I grew up with most of these guys, so it's so easy for me to. Honestly, I should go more because I have so many resources and connections. But like I said, that one was Father's Day trip, and I am a father of many children.
Yeah,
so,
we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, when you go out with a friend or something, somebody it seems like they put a little bit of extra effort in more to make sure you have a good time.
And that's part of it too, is going with somebody that makes your experience. I've gone with several different boat captains, had lots of good experiences, but it makes a real big difference when you go with somebody that's local, somebody that you have some familiarity with, somebody that cuts up and laughs, and you have a good time on the boat. Man, it makes for memories that last a lifetime, and that's really what it's all about, getting out there in the outdoors and making those lasting memories.
You can see Matt, he gets it, okay? And he's got it for a long time. That's why I wanted him to come on this morning and talk about it. Speaking of family, tell us, here we go. Here's a little family picture. Tell us about it.
Well, that's our last family photo shoot that we did. We actually went out to out there at 30A Walton area. I can't remember which beach we went to, but so starting with my wife's there in the middle with the multicolored flowered dress.
Okay.
And that's my baby sitting in her lap, Adeline, she's 7. And to the right there, that's Alana. And then to the left, Chloe. Chloe's the oldest. Alana, it's kind of hard, like, who is the middle when you got 5, right? And you got Drake up there in the stretch, as I should call him, because he's taller than me now.
Oh, wow.
And there's Ryder. He's 8. He'll be 9 in November. He has autism, so beautiful child, beautiful soul. He keeps us on our toes at all times because, child with he's got autism and ADHD, so he is full throttle kid, man. Full throttle kid.
Oh yeah, I understand. We have some autistic son, a friend of ours. Well, actually, I'm gonna go back. My cousin's son is autistic, and I know the love those kids have for you. I mean, what they do and all, and it's really been special.
Well, that's something I advocate for. We're big sponsors of the FSU ECAP, and that's one of the programs they have, ABA therapy, and it's actually a recognized across the United States as one of the top programs in all the U.S. for children with autism. And one of the phrases that I learned through ECAP, and I thought it was really cool, is if you've met one kid with autism, you've met one kid with autism, because they're so unique, they're so different.
That's true.
Every one of them's individual, and you can't put them in some little bubble and think that they're all the same. They're not. They're very, very different. And I've been exposed to that through my son. And it's opened my eyes to children and other adults that possibly are on the spectrum, people that never got diagnosed with it. It just gives you a whole different level of patience with people.
Yes.
You see the same little quirks, not identical, but the same little quirks, and I see it in other adults sometimes, and people are like, how do you have so much patience for other people? And I don't all the time, but I always reference my son. God opened my eyes and has given me such a different perspective of patience for others and other people's kids and all of it. So
that's great, man.
Yes.
That is great, and what you're all doing is just awesome. Our next picture right here, this is a little action shot, I think.
That's an old one right there.
That's a young man.
So that was, I don't know how old I was, maybe 19 or 20 years old in that picture. And that's my dad. And we actually had I bought him and I both that same matching rod and reel, and we went out shark fishing that night.
Okay.
I don't think we had a lot of luck, but we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, he's telling you how to do it, right?
That's right.
I'm sure. He said, hold off. Now, now real.
Oh yeah.
I can hear him now.
And I still take a lot of advice from my dad. I'm blessed to have him. There's my son out there in the water.
That was a great shot. I mean, that's just pure joy in a natural setting right there.
Let me tell you something. That boy loves getting out in the surf. He loves getting drugged back and forth, especially if we got a boogie board out there. Man, he'll just go and go and go. And he has no bounds or limits either, man.
Here we are, Hammer Down.
Yep.
We got to talk about how you came up with the name. We're going to take a break in a minute, but we'll come back. We're going to talk about how you came up. Here, let's talk about right here. This only you got commercial roofing, residential roofing, roof repair, and Hammer Down Construction, right there, the Roofing Pro. Now, I like how you have that little trailer. I mean, that these little extensions back here, they can haul a lot of stuff, can't they?
Oh, that's a heavy load right there.
I mean, look at that.
I'm probably overloaded, but
when I got the picture, the first thing I saw was that big old trailer back there.
That was all a bunch of tarps and stuff.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, so I actually ended up going down south and helping with a little bit of relief work.
We're going to talk about
there.
that. I remember we were talking before you went. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with Matt. Okay, welcome back, folks. Appreciate your viewership this morning. Let's take a look at our fishing game time brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. Our times today, 1:22 to 3:22 this morning. We just passed that one. And this afternoon, 1:48 to 3:48. Be a good time to get outdoors. And you were saying you got you a boat now.
So. We did. We finally did it. We've been talking about it for a while. You know, when you have little kids, it's kind of one of those things where do you put money into a boat because you get them out there and then they're ready to go back. So now our kids are a little bit older, and it was a great decision. I mean, we've had a lot of fun on that boat, pulling them on tubes, going to Shell Island. All of it's been really, really good. It's something that we can incorporate the whole family. When you have an age gap of kids, you know, the youngest being 7 and the oldest is 19. So trying to find something that's
to get all of them,
to get everybody involved, and to get a boat big enough. We ended up getting a 26-foot hurricane deck boat.
Oh yeah.
300 Yamaha outboard on the back, so it moves through the water good, and it gets them where they want to come out and be part of it. So,
We've talked about the deck boats, how popular they are. Well, here's a classic case right here. The big family spread out and do all kinds of things, relax.
And you can still fish it. It's got a platform on the back of it, so you can still throw a rod off the back of it.
That's a good selling point.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I've got a quick picture here. That fellow you hear, that's old Mike, isn't it?
You can't meet a better guy than Mike right there.
Mike Vickers.
If you guys need insulation of any kind, spray foam, I think he pretty well does it all, but that's their specialty is the spray foam.
Yeah.
But just a good human being,
a
good dude. He's somebody that I could pick up the phone right now and call, and he'd probably answer and be part of the show too.
Yeah.
But he would give you the shirt off of his back.
He would. Tell him I want him to come on too. He did part of my pole barn. I closed in a room and they came out and spray foamed it. I mean, man, it was immaculate. I couldn't get over how cool it was too.
Yes.
And so anyway, that's Mike Vickers. So and one more picture. Let's see. Here's the family. One more family picture. Everybody's happy now at the beach, right?
Yep. That's our kids, and that's Chloe and her boyfriend, and Alana and her boyfriend, and Drake and his girlfriend. That's the whole bunch, whole gang.
All right. Now you did some. You know, when hurricanes hit and all. You know, when we had it here, we had people from Texas coming all over. We called them storm chasers, and you got put in a situation when Ian hit down south. You're not a storm chaser.
No.
And you weren't going to do that. Tell us what happened on that.
You know, I've always considered myself the local guy, the hometown guy, and trying to be there always for my hometown. And what ended up happening was some previous customers from the beach here that own property that I had done work for, they called me with desperation in their voices, and it was familiar. You know, the sound of, I can't get help.
Yeah.
And we all remember that after Hurricane Michael. There was so many people that needed help, and you just couldn't help them all. And you know, so they pleaded with me. They gave me a free place to stay, and it really started off with I was just going down there to help those specific customers, not to solicit work.
Yeah.
But you know how that goes. Once you get there, everybody begs and pleads for your help. So we roofed down there for a few months, but once I felt like it was pulling away from my ability to be the best I could be here. We shut it down, and I felt like at that point they started to gather enough help. They had people rallying around them, and I saw enough roofers where I felt like, hey, they got this under control. We're going to focus our efforts back at home.
That was good of you to do that. It's funny how you go down to one and people see you working. They just, you know, because that same thing happened here, so we know what you're talking about.
Yes.
I know when you did mine, the ventilator, the attic ventilator, the fan. You talked to them about, you know, always have them wired up and all. He said, Coach, what about a solar powered one?
Well, that's nice. You know, you utilize the power of the sun here in Florida, you know.
It was ideal. I love that thing.
And it's not steadily running off of your power.
No.
You know, it'll help keep your power bill down. The sun charges that thing throughout the day and allows it to continue to suck that attic heat out of there. Those things are very nice.
If you don't have one, I'll check and get one of those things because I'm impressed with it. Still running great and everything. One thing I also wrote down. hail damage. We had a lot of hail damage recently. Did you
Sure.
see a lot of that? As the roof?
Absolutely.
It's amazing how strong that was, wasn't it?
It was, and it kind of hit a real specific area. I feel like from the Lynn Haven Bridge and that whole area right there, down to the 5th Street ball field, and then over towards Southport.
Yep.
It really, really all took a beating over that way. We've done a lot over in the Hodges Bayou area, but yeah, and in some neighborhoods, minor, and then others, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we were looking at which neighborhood was that? It was the Fanning Bayou. Fanning Bayou has some that looks like baseball size hits down the side of their vinyl. I mean, it's wild.
I know. I'm right there. Fanning on one side, Hodges on. You know where I'm at.
Oh yeah, you're right in the middle.
It's a testimony to your roof. I mean, mine. I didn't have any problem. I had a little lean-to I built, and it came through that little lean-to. It was like just shotgun blast. I mean, it had been just flying through there.
Wow.
Fortunately, I had the vehicles in the garage, but my neighbors, they just irritate them. They boom, 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 boom. So you saw a lot of that.
Well, and I think a lot of it, there's still some out there. I think there's a lot of people that, you can't always recognize the issue from the ground.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Guys, if you want me to come out, it costs absolutely nothing for us to come take a look. We'll climb up on the roof, we'll take some pictures, and we'll give you an honest assessment if, hey, either you have it or you don't. And if you do, we can help you with an insurance claim. We've assisted probably in the neighborhood of 40 to 50 people now with those hail, including our own personal house. So
yeah, you were out. You were in the,
Yep, we're in the country club over in Lynn Haven. So
y'all got hit too.
We did.
Yeah. We're about to run out of time, but I got tickled. I didn't get tickled. I just shook my head. These storm chasers, hail damage repair. So I said, here they come again. But they just stuck up anyway.
Oh yeah,
I said,
better believe it.
I'm going to use somebody local, and that's what I want to encourage you to use somebody local. Matt, I've known him since he was young. We're so proud to have him part of our Panhandle Outdoors team, and any kind of roofing that you need, give him a call. And we appreciate you.
Thanks for having me on.
You got to start sending me more fish pictures now if you get
That's
time.
right. That's right.
And also off that Hurricane deck boat now, you can send some pictures there with the family doing stuff.
Yes, sir.
I can see you're going to be they're going to be at Shell Island. They're going to be out there playing. You're going to be up there fishing. Good to see you, Matt.
Yes, sir.
All right. Folks, we appreciate your viewership. We appreciate you sponsoring, taking care of our sponsors and supporting them. Do something good today for fellow man. Enjoy the outdoors. Take care of the outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.